Greetings, Earthling Reader friends. Today we are going to be doing a review of Moxie by Jennifer Matthieu. I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars, but I probably would have given it 10 out of 10 stars if I could have, honestly. I just liked it that much and it just made me feel great. It was really, really good. A synopsis is that our main character, Vivian Carter, is fed up with the way her school is run, how she's treated at school, how the girls at her school are treated by the boys who act like Neanderthals, and by the school board who doesn't do anything about it and just kind of lets the boys run wild and doesn't penalize them or anything. So she starts a zine called Moxie, and it's kind of like a call to arms for all the girls in her school to, you know, start not fighting back, but like to not take it anymore and to not sit quietly anymore, and to actually do something to stand up for themselves. This book not only empowered me as a female, but also as a human being in general, because it makes you question things, it makes you think about things differently, it raises questions to think about, and it's all around, it's a really good discussion starter, this story. It talks about things like sexual assault, racism, misogyny, all important issues in today's world. The book is very, very empowering. It makes you, after you read it, it makes you just feel awesome inside. It makes you feel important and it makes you feel heard. I liked how this novel made feminism accessible to pretty much anyone, because it attaches it to the story on such a basic level while making an impact. So it makes the story that much more important because it attaches feminism to it, and it's in a way that you can understand and still get something out of it. I don't know how to describe it. But it makes it so you can definitely take something away from this book. I love how this novel brought up real issues and actually dealt with them appropriately. Because some YA books attempt to deal with issues that were brought up in this book, and they don't always handle them the correct way. So to see these things handled appropriately and actually dealt with and combated against was really refreshing. Codes or racism in the school, you know, internalized racism in the school, sexual assault, and all of these things in varying degrees too, not just in like high impact degrees, but also in like everyday things where you wouldn't think about it, but now you might think about it twice before doing something or saying something. And one of the main things that I liked about this book was that it was not super cheesy. It was actually real and empowering and raw, and makes you think about these things on a level you can understand. So it doesn't go like right over your head. It is not cheesy. And I don't know how to say it other than that, but it's not like, you know, just, it's not stupid. It is actually a highly intelligent book. Some of the characters feel super approachable because of how relatable they are. For example, like Vivian or Kira, Maricela, or, oh god, what was her friend's name? Lucy. These people just seem like people you'd meet in real life, that you would come across in real life, and they deal with real issues, and they bring up real issues that they deal with that someone reading this might not have known before, or someone reading this might be like, oh, I go through that every day. And they just seem super approachable at that, and they weren't forced characters, they didn't seem like plot devices to further the story. They just seemed genuine. Also, the other part of that point is that the characters feel super real. That, well, not all of the characters, but some of the characters feel super real because they make you think of real people. An example, I think we've all faced some of the teachers in this book where they are not helpful when it comes to certain issues, or they're dismissive of certain issues, or they have favorites, or they treat other people differently than they treat other people. Also, Vivian's grandparents kind of have like a one-track mind and a one-track way of thinking of things. So when she brings certain things up, it's you can see and acknowledge that her grandparents kind of have like an antiquated way of thinking because that's how they were raised, and how they can't see these things for what they really are. What the antagonists do and say is it hit on the head writing. Hitting the nail on the head with the writing, because it's so realistic and it's sad and it's despicable and abhorrent, but it is realistic. With the examples like the comments like "make me a sandwich," or the guy who wore the shirts under his jersey, the super offensive shirts under his jersey, and never got spoken to. Another thing was the bump and grab, which don't even get me started on that because I could do a whole video just on that one problem in this book. that one issue, because that really got to me. And I think one of the most despicable things in this book was the March Madness competition, which is not the basketball competition. They would like rate the girls in their school, the upperclassmen girls in their school, not rating them on their intelligence or, you know, how kind they are. They're rating them physically. So, yeah, and I think they also did something like that in the book 13 Reasons Why. I think they had the list go around where they would like rate the freshman class, and it made me think of that. Another point was it was a good, refreshing feeling to see for once girls banding together instead of tearing each other down. A common trope in YA books is to have girls tearing each other down or being negative to each other, or constantly comparing themselves to each other, or just being mean. And to see girls banding together for a common cause and for something that they could all relate to and they had all gone through, was really, really nice to see. And it's something that's not impossible and it could happen in real life. So, you know, hopefully that happens more in YA literature. One thing I really liked about the book was that it dealt with some pretty big issues like rape and sexual assault in other ways, and racism and misogyny and all these really big problems. And it still remained accessible to anyone reading it, and it wasn't exclusive in any way, and I think it did a good job of how it was written. So there's a million other things that I want to say about this book because I just really freaking loved it, but I could do 3 videos on this book, but I will, you know, those are just the things that I wanted to go over with for this video. So favorite quote was a pretty simple one, and it was in one of the pamphlets, and it was "Moxie Girls Fight Back." I just think there's a lot in that statement that just works and makes you want to stand up for yourself. So end notes. I would recommend this book to literally anyone, pretty much. Give it to your boyfriend, your girlfriend, someone who's close to you, someone you're friends with, a parent, a guardian. I just think it's an empowering book, and it raises questions and answers questions on certain issues and gives you a kind of a bird's eye view of like what it's like to go through certain things. And it just makes you feel empowered after reading it. So I would definitely recommend this book to anyone. I know I've been away for a while, and I am sorry about that once again. I've been away for health issues, so if you've stayed around this long, thank you. Thank you for subscribing once again, and if you'd like, you can hit that subscribe button, you can hit the like button. You don't have to if you don't want to. And catch you later.